With so many people around the world under stay-at-home orders, one organization is challenging kids and their families to report wildlife in their neighborhoods. Created in partnership with the Natural History Museum of Los Angeles and the California Academy of Sciences, the City Nature Challenge is set to kick off today with some adjustments for the pandemic, of course. Joining me now is Kris Kiser. Kris, he is the president of the TurfMutt Foundation, who for over a decade now has advocated for the importance of green spaces for wildlife, food, and habitat. Hi, Kris. Thank you for joining us today. Very quickly here, tell our viewers about the TurfMutt Foundation and how you got involved with the City Nature Challenge.
Sure. The TurfMutt Foundation is designed to educate kids about environmental stewardship, connecting to the outdoors. We know how critically important the outdoors is to stress relief and to help dissipate anxiety. But more importantly, as any pediatrician will tell you, the greatest thing you could do for a young child is get them dirty, get them a dog, get them outdoors. What we try to do at the TurfMutt Foundation is have kids better understand nature. Remember, nature starts at your back door, and then we all have a part to play. So help them be environmental stewards. We can all do pollinator support. We can understand our zones, where we live, helping us choose the right plant from the right plant for the right place. And we do it through a dog's eye. And so the TurfMutt Foundation is predicated on a pooch, right? A real life dog. So TurfMutt's a cartoon character. They're bad guys. 70 million kids have used the program, put in schools by Scholastic. Again, it's to connect kids to the outdoors through lesson plans. The bad guys, heat freak, carbon creep, dust demon, make it real for them.
I love it, and I think it's a good point that you bring up right now, how it's also a way to de-stress. It's something that a lot of people need right now, regardless, of the challenge. With many people at home this year, during the pandemic, how has this challenge adapted for the pandemic, and how can our viewers participate?
Well, you can join the challenge, or you can join the TurfMutt contest. What we've learned by sheltering at home and the cities are becoming quieter, if you will, is just how well nature has adapted to the environment we've created, frankly. And so we see, as you've described, animals where we haven't normally seen them before. I'm sitting here at a very large window. I've got deer and a couple foxes are out here this morning. Animals have adapted. Nature will start at your back door. And that's, again, what we want to teach. I live in the Atlantic Flyway. I live across the river from Washington, D.C. Lots of birds and insects fly overhead. So there are different flyways across the country. If you plant what birds and insects need to rest and recharge, they'll stop. So my Carolina wrens and towhees and pileated woodpeckers are all here for the season, and they've nestled in for the spring because I've planted what they want. We want to teach kids those lessons, that you can do your part at home. Now remember, we're a mosaic. No one is an island. The outdoors, we're all interconnected. And so you don't even necessarily have to have a yard. You can have a patio, a balcony, a roof deck, or even the city park. We all have a part to play, and that's what TurfMutt teaches us.
I agree with that, and I think that's something very important that you bring up and that we were talking about before this interview is how we've seen a lot of wildlife come out. Venice, we've seen dolphins, we see turtles that they haven't seen in years at a lot of beaches. It's so beautiful. So do you think with all of this you're expecting maybe different results to be changing dramatically this year for the challenge at least? And what are some of the interesting finds that you've seen from the previous years?
Exactly. And I think people are recognizing that those animals are there. They just need the opportunity to come out. And so, again, if you have in place their foodstuffs, most of the time animals are looking for food and shelter. So if you provide those, they're there. And so if we take the time, what this COVID business has allowed us to do is rest a little. And so we're encouraging people to just step outside. Right? Leave the devices inside. I know it's very challenging. Leave the iPads and the iPhone inside. Step outside, sit for a few minutes, and simply listen. Listen. You'll hear the birds. Again, spring has sprung. The birds are busy. They're nesting. It's a wonderful stress relief. And so, again, the animals show us that. They're highly adaptive. We do our part. They'll come into the ecosystem. And that's what the challenge teaches us. Look for them. Get outside, step outside, and watch.
And that's a beautiful message for everyone right now. And a lot of people, like we said, have to be at home, but a lot of states are slowly lifting those restrictions. We've seen a lot of states already open parks back up. So like you said, if you don't have a backyard, hopefully you can head to one of those parks and take part in this challenge and learn something new about your community, since we have a little bit of extra time to do that. Thank you very much for that beautiful message. And I hope that you guys have a big turnout again. That challenge does start today. And of course, you can head to that website. We put it on the bottom of our screen for our viewers. Thank you for your time, Kris.
Good to be with you.
Thanks.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.